Did you know that you can use the man coverage ability known as bench press within match coverage to fatigue receivers and make it so that way they can't create separation on those pesky skinny post routes? Well, in today's video, we're going to break down exactly what you need to do and when you can actually use this ability to your benefit. Let's go ahead and get into it. What is up, guys? Zan from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the bench press ability. Yes, the bench press. I know you guys are probably having PTSD from last year with the bench press meta.
Oh, I met another girl, Dad. I really think this is the one. Murphy stole Grandpa's car. She crashed it. She's okay though.
We had 3 of those on the field. Purple zone set to 20 or 25 yards. Receivers were fatigued for the entire game, and offense felt like a chore. Now, obviously, EA went and balanced that ability and made it so it was a little bit more expensive and a little bit less effective in terms of the fatigue that it played on the receiver when you get back to the huddle. Keeping the player out of the game was a little bit unbalanced, but it still does apply a fatigue in the middle of the play, which is huge because we're going to be talking about that bunch meta today, which is so darn pesky, and how we can completely neutralize that backside skinny post that so many players love to spam out of the play.
Gonna be PP Pants City here real soon.
Out of the play bunch trail. So let's go ahead and take the field with this. We're going to be talking about a special check that is in the quarters defense against the bunch offense. Now, I did say special check. That's actually its own thing. There's a thing called the special check that exists in Madden as well. What we're talking today is actually known as the solo check. I was just using the phrase special because it's something different. So the solo check is something that applies to a solo receiver formation. Typically, this is going to be a bunch with the solo receiver to the backside, or maybe like a Y trip style formation where you're going to get a solo receiver to the backside. As long as your spacing has one receiver with a running back in the backfield, you're going to get what is known as the solo check. And the solo check, for those that don't know, essentially turns your play from match quarters that looks like this to effectively it looks like this, where you end up with the linebacker in the quarter flat that is on the running back no matter where he goes, and you end up with the outside player that was in a quarter now locked into man coverage on the solo receiver. I'm going to respot the ball, and I'm going to prove this to you by putting our solo receiver on the backside on a smoke route. As you guys know, match quarters is a defense where you basically play zone unless your man goes vertically. Now, with this particular concept, I'm going to prove that the solo check is a thing by running the running back on an angle route, in which case this linebacker that is in this quarter flat, Reader, will play him on the Texas route. He'll get beat on that because that's a good man beating route. But most importantly, I want you to watch Ramsey in his solo check on Mike Evans, who is running a smoke route. He never crosses the line of scrimmage, but I want you to watch Ramsey. So let's go ahead and snap the ball. There's the play art, and you see exactly what I'm talking about. This clearly is the solo check. So now that we know that the solo check is something that exists not only against bunch, but also against, you know, some of your Y trip style offenses, I'll go ahead and show this to you once again to prove. So again, we've got a very similar concept here. Let's go ahead and run that. So again, you're going to see that the solo check exists against Y trips as well. And then the Texas route is played man-to-man by the quarter flat. Now that we know that that's a thing, let's go ahead and talk about how you can utilize the bench press ability. So when you play this particular ability, I want to be completely clear with you guys. Bench press does not make it so you press better. Bench press makes it so that way when you do successfully press a receiver, it fatigues them and makes it so they don't get separation on their cuts nearly as easily. If you guys are enjoying this free YouTube content, I would strongly urge you to go over to my strategy website. GridironGamePlans.gg is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault Update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active, and access to our Discord server, where every single Wednesday, we have a live lab session covering the week's vault content and any questions you guys have about Madden. So make sure you guys head over to gridirongameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. What we can do with this is take our coverage and press it. So you could go ahead and do this one of two different ways. The way that everybody knows how to do this is to press Y it down, and that's global press. The other way that you can do this is individually pressing. Now, individually pressing is a little bit more challenging. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. You're going to bring up your coverage adjustments menu. You're going to hit A or X on PlayStation for individual. Then you're going to choose the receiver that you want to press, which is Mike Evans or the X receiver. And then you're going to flick the right stick down, and that's going to roll Jalen Ramsey down and press coverage. Now, you could do this with other players on the field too. Let's say I wanted to press over the B receiver. I can do the same thing there. Same thing with the right bumper receiver. It's the same drill. Now, the other way that you could do this would be to go ahead and global press and then individually back off the players that you won't want to do this. Again, more clicks, but another way you could get around it. But this is a way that you can individually press and, back off of players, help protect yourself against, some of the one-play touchdowns. Now, why is this important? This is important because a lot of players love to spam the backside post route, especially against match coverage. And you guys know that I'm a big time match coverage guy. I've been running match coverage basically since 2019 as my main form of coverage. Over the years, I've learned things about the coverage to help master it and apply it to the different offensive metas that we've seen in Madden over the last 2 or 3 years. And this year, obviously, a lot of players love to go to that backside skinny post. And the problem is if they have a receiver that gets a good cut, sometimes against match coverage, it does end up being a big time play, especially if I'm using this player and cheating over towards the bunch side to help out or looking for crossers from the bunch side. If I'm caught playing low and that skinny post ends up, getting a good release, you end up with him being able to get the separation at the cut, unless you have the successful bench press, which is kind of cool. You see right here that actually on this play, Evans did not actually get bench pressed, which allowed him to continue running. Now, Ramsey's still really, really good. Again, what I mentioned in this particular video was that it does not make you win. The bench press doesn't make you win the press animation every time. However, when you do win with it, it will tend to make the receiver a lot more tired, and then he can't get separation where an accurate throw would end up being a touchdown. So we'll go ahead and snap this ball here, and you see that Ramsey does win this time, applies the fatigue penalty, and you saw how Evans got a little bit of a speed boost on that play, and then he slowed down. He just tanked out in the middle of that play. So again, even if we had had no help over the top, even if we had had no zones over the top on that play, you could visually see that he got tired in the middle of this play. So you see right here that he gets off the press, gets into it okay, but he received a fatigue penalty. So he goes into his cut, and it looks like he got a good cut. Right as he goes bang, right there, it looks like he's about to accelerate from Ramsey. Now again, ignore the fact that we've got these two guys up top here. What you notice on this play is that he is unable to keep his separation on this. So we go to, launch this, and Ramsey just makes up all that ground because he's tired. Now again, Mike Evans is a beast. He's almost impossible to press in this game. So you can kind of imagine how this would apply against a player that is not a physical archetype. Maybe think of somebody more like, that TJ Hushmanzada or, some of the other archetypes in Madden that are route running archetypes or slot archetypes. If you catch them where you can get a bench press against the solo receiver and get that solo check, you're going to be able to neutralize pretty much their entire route tree. Even if they get open, it's only on that small window at the cut. They won't run away from anybody. In fact, they'll give up almost all of their separation after a successful bench press animation within your match coverage. Now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Again, if you guys want to know everything, I'm talking everything about the match coverage family. We're talking quarters, palms, press versus off coverage, cover 6, cover 9, cover 6 invert, their special checks, how to defend bunch tight end and trips and Trey Y flex and all the different metas. Go over to gridirongameplans.gg. That match game plan is included with your membership. You get everything else on the website. At this point, we've got 6 game plans on the site. You guys can go check them out. Weekly vault content. We also have the Discord channel for all of our members where we have live lab sessions every Wednesday. You guys can go in there and get clarity on a lot of the content if you have any questions about that, and chat with other members of the Gridiron Game Plans community. So hope you guys like this video. maybe take a look at that bench press ability within your match coverage. See what you think. You know, there's some other ways you could use it too. You guys can go find out more on Gridiron Game Plans. If you want to use multiple bench presses in your quarters meta, you can find out how over there on the website. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab, man. Good luck.